Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Fitness, a very special happy birthday to me edition. I am very blessed to be celebrating 42 years young, and I'm carrying on a tradition that I started last year. Running is a big part of my fitness routine, something that I have I guess you could say, a love-hate relationship with, but I think a vital part to kind of who I am as an athlete. And last year I decided to start, in celebration of the year, divide the year by 10, because let's not get carried away and run that many miles. So last year I did 4.1. I just finished a 4.2 mile run here at Arcadia Trail Park in Fort Worth, and hope the sweat on my shirt and face and everything evidences that. But yeah, had a great run, took the time to prepare. Last time went through some ways that I use my massage gun to get some good circulation going in my legs. So I thought today I would show you what I like to do after the run. So the first thing I do, I walk around a little bit. I've already done that, just to kind of keep the circulation going so I don't get too tight, because of course your heart rate's pumping at the end of a run. If you're like me and you kind of charge towards the end, maybe not the best idea to just stop suddenly. So also I like to find a bench, a picnic bench or a park bench or something like that. Even a tree or something would work, but I like to have something that I can use to leverage some stretches. So I'm going to go through a couple of quick stretches here. Hamstrings are, it's conventional wisdom out there that tight hamstrings are a death sentence for a low back. So I definitely like to stretch my hamstrings. So what I'll do is, let's see here if I can get a good shot of that, but use the park bench here, and I'm just gonna sit down and reach out there. I can get into the calf a little bit by pulling this up, pulling this back. We put a lot of stress on our Achilles when we run, pushing off the ground over and over again. And so I'm reaching out to my right leg with my right hand, but I also find it helpful to cross body, because then you can kind of do a little turn and get into the quadratus lumborum and the low back, which tends to get tight anytime we use our legs, really. So I do hamstrings. And then another one I really like is kind of a figure 4 stretch seated on the bench. Okay, so I'm taking my right arm here, I'm pulling my left leg over, and I'm leveraging on my right leg, and that gets into the butt muscles, the piriformis, and the IT bands. Again, all these muscles are vitally important if you're going to stay running, to keep them loose and operational and functional. So I'm going to get that, and I feel that in the low back a little bit too. Many of you might. And another key point is, none of these stretches have to last for 2 minutes or anything like that. Depending on where you get your information. I've talked with other fitness professionals that are a fan of 2 minutes or more per stretch. But if you kind of think of if you look at a dog, when they stretch, they don't hold a stretch for 2 minutes. So just kind of take a cue from nature there. What you're basically trying to do is getting some loosening of the Golgi tendons. Those are I'm getting real scientific, real professor on you here, but those are the ends of the muscles kind of that act as they're gonna pull in as the muscles lengthen and everything. Then I got to hit the calves. So pretty proud of those. But I'm pushing against the wall here. One of these days I got to figure out how to not have to hold the camera, but so I'm gonna get a little bit of leverage on the wall here, and then I'll put this down low so you can see. But 2 ways to think about this. So one is, you want to get the soleus, which is a little bit deeper and harder to stretch, and then you want to go a little further back to get the other part of the calf that you're probably going to feel a little bit more readily. The perineals, which are kind of on the outside, but the gastrocs, all of that, all of this will be on the quiz. Just kidding. But yeah, again, don't have to hold it for a long time. Just want to do it, want to take advantage while the blood's still flowing. You'll get a better result from that. So there we go. Nice alignment with the knees. I try not to watch my knees from going side to side too much. And then look at this. So I like to go down low on the wall, okay? And then do a little bit of hip dips, get some rotation going. That's more of an active stretch, but that's gonna help the mid back as well as going to the low back. And then we can also kind of come down here and push in on our inner thighs. So inner thighs, especially if you're a cross trainer like me and you're doing some lifting, some squats, deadlifts, inner thighs tend to get tight on weightlifters or people who resistance train. So okay. All right, well, anyway, and just a little thought on my birthday. I would keep some goals in front of you every time. I mean, I know New Year's is a time for reflection, but I think birthdays are too. You kind of look back at the year you've had, where you've come. Of course, I'm very proud of the things I've done, family-wise, and in career and other personal, vocational goals that I have. Of course, there's things I got to work on myself. It's always a good time for self-reflection. And then when we're just talking fitness, keep some things in front of you. I mean, for me, I always like to keep some 5K races, some events, some challenges in front of me, and stuff like this where I say, hey, my birthday's coming up. I got to get ready for 4.2. At the last few weeks, I was mindful of that. So keeps me young, keeps me active and ready for the next thing. So subscribe to my channel, Dr. Fitness. Over the next year, one of my goals is to really expand this thing and to reach more people and offer some of the things that have helped me that I hope can help many of you out there. So it's great to be on here with all of you. Blessed for another birthday, and we'll see you next time. Dr. Fitness, thanks a lot.